Hello. Welcome to, I'm going to call it Live at Lunch. So for the next 5 days, I'm going to take a few minutes on my lunch break to go live with you and just introduce the theme for the day. So for day 1 of Dream, Decide, Do, we are in the part 3, which is do. So we have our dream, we've decided on what it is we want, and now for the next 5 days, we are preparing and getting ourselves ready to let her be. So by the end of the 5 days, my goal for you is to feel like you can take the steps forward confidently with all of these weeks that we've had behind us. So if you're just joining us, I want to welcome you, and I think you'll still get some definite helpful things from this part 3. And then if you want the rest of the content, we go back as far as July with the Loving Her first 5-day training. And then we got into Dream, Decide, Do. So we're in day 1 of part 3, and our theme is finding courage. So one thing you might not know if you are new, and this is the first time you're listening, is that I like to do the live trainings because I can just kind of go with what I feel led to say. So after I did my introduction late last night, I this morning, thought over what exactly the message was that I felt coming through me for today. And then I do have a lot of content from the last several years of being online. So what I thought of, and I know our themes, we're going to be building courage, strength, self-discipline, and our calendar for the next 5 days, if you didn't hear the intro. But today is finding courage, and I do have a 2015 blog from February 20th of 2015. And what was nice is, of course, everything's lined up in such a way that this blog sort of is going along with kind of the way I feel, at the moment with different things in my life that we'll kind of go into over the next 5 days as we share together. But Finding Courage, February 20th, 2015. I'm just going to go through and take you through it. And it was written for my trainer page. This is my personal training, strength and conditioning page. I am just going to go ahead and read it as it is. I advertise myself now as a women's health coach. So, outside of doing these trainings with you. Finding Courage. It is easy to talk about having courage when things are going your way. It is easy to talk about overcoming adversity when you are on the summit of a mountain you have just scaled. It is easy to talk about vulnerability when you have found the strength to encourage others after a journey you just made it through successfully. It is a little more difficult to talk about those things when life slams you hard, repeatedly, within a matter of days. For me, it is genuinely heartbreaking to just wait out the storm and hope the damage doesn't wipe out all of my work. My close friends will tell you that during these times I tend to disappear. All of a sudden I'm off the grid, I don't return phone calls or text, and I storytell about how I'm just really busy with work. Luckily, these same close friends will come to my house to check things out for themselves. I am blessed to have people in my life who don't tolerate my do-it-myself attitude or my isolation tactics. As I began blogging last year, my intention was to let you know you are not alone in your struggle to achieve health and fitness. I have overcome hardships that I know others have faced and are facing now. I have found the way to put my health and fitness first. I have let go of the fear that my entire world will crumble if I put my needs ahead of anything or anyone. I have discovered the joy of serving my son, family, friends, and Savior better as a whole person instead of a workaholic. However, as this current week has proven, I'm still struggling with accepting that failure can come at any moment, no matter what you do. No amount of prayer, positive thinking, and affirmations can hold you exempt from failure. You can make all the plans in the world while working as hard as you can, only to watch what you have built crumble in a matter of moments. Sometimes we think that courage is standing in the face of our obstacles, ready for battle. We man up, we put on our armor, and we stand strong, waiting for it. But what I have discovered the last few months, and what I have experienced this week, is that often courage is most needed in those moments after the storm. In those moments that you can do absolutely nothing to fix what's broken. In those moments when you just want to hide or cry alone on the floor of your apartment. When the disappointment is crushing and your inability to man up is gone. When you get caught without your armor and you take a painful hit. It is always so difficult for me to recognize that courage in these moments reveals itself in vulnerability. It is courage to reach out and show someone close to you what is really going on. It is courage to show someone the imperfect part of our lives instead of the edited version we show the rest of the world. It is courage to put down the armor and ask someone to stand next to us. It is in those moments we discover the power of vulnerability. The following is from Dr. Brené Brown's famous TED Talks. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. I've failed miserably many times. I don't think the world understands that because of shame. Shame for women is the web of unattainable, conflicting, competing expectations about who we're supposed to be, and it's a straitjacket. Empathy is the antidote to shame. The two most powerful words when we are in struggle are me too. How does all of this relate to health and fitness? Well, maybe this will encourage you to be vulnerable and ask someone to join the journey with you. Or maybe if you've mastered the journey in your own life, you could help those you see struggling around you without judgment. Coming to someone's aid with empathy during their struggle is also vulnerability on your part. It is another way courage shows itself. The journey of health and fitness is riddled with hardships and people who try to discourage you from putting yourself first. To make it even more difficult, there are also many experts who will try to sell the false idea that perfection is possible if you just work hard enough. That quest for perfection kills vulnerability, and it isolates us from each other. We look at each other and see everyone's game face or their edited photos, and we immediately see that we don't measure up. What if we were honest about how hard it is to fight back fear? What if we were honest about how our crazy schedules are killing our health? What if we were honest about how hard it is to ignore the messages that industry is selling us? What if we took off our protective armor and walked with one another on the journey? What if we embraced our imperfections instead of making health and fitness a competition to be perfect? You are not alone in the journey. I am not alone in the journey, unless we isolate ourselves on purpose, unless we see someone struggling with the journey and walk away proud that we are better than that person. I am hoping to join the journey with you on your way to becoming the strongest version of yourself, and I am inviting you to come with me on mine. And that's what I had written for that February 20th, 2015. So I just thought that was pretty perfect. And I also love looking back at my old blogs and seeing how all of these same principles were pretty much birthed here around that time, 2015 or so. And they've just kind of manifested themselves into all of the work that I've done and into these trainings. And I'm glad it can kind of come full circle, and I can add a lot of them in there. So if you're new, there are tons of audios available from the last trainings. There was always a morning audio. So if you want to access any of that content that you don't already have access to, just shoot me a message and I'll get you the information that you need. Or you can make a comment and then I can make sure you have the links that you need to get there. Okay, so we're going to be back live again, but this time video live later this afternoon, and I'm going to have live journal prompts over finding courage and developing courage with our part 3 training. Okay, I'll see you later.